looking at 1 Nephi 8, verses 4. But behold, Laman and Lemuel, I fear exceedingly because of you, for behold, methought I saw in my dream a dark and dreary wilderness. And this begins what I believe is Lehi's temple vision, his symbolic ascent into the kingdom of God. And I'm going to lay this out for you over the series of these videos through chapter 8. Certainly on the surface, there's a lesson to be learned about clinging to the rod, reading the scriptures, staying on the straight and narrow path to return to God's presence. But I'm going to show you the parallels with that and the ancient temple ceremonies and what that can teach us about our modern temple experience. Alright, just as some background, some ancient temple rituals. This is kind of the pattern that they all followed in, whether you're looking at early Christian rituals, whether you're looking at ancient Hebrew, ancient Jewish rituals, whether you're looking at Canaanite rituals, whether you're looking at Ethiopian or Egyptian rituals, they all follow the same type of pattern. And I made in this circle because, as we've read already in the Book of Mormons, the temple theme is one eternal round. So it's a cycle that goes from the fall to the atonement to the creation. And on the ascent, you're going to ascend through three-part space. And I put telestial, terrestrial, and celestial here, but these all have a variety of different names. Anciently, once you arrived into the final room of the temple, the third room, you would see a tree. You would see the Ark of the Covenant, representing the throne of God. You would see the man, representing Jesus Christ. And the whole eternal family would be represented in the celestial room, or the Holy of Holies. Bottom area, the place that people fall, is known as the wilderness, the lone and dreary world, things of that nature. Now I've gone through, this is kind of a living document that I'm working on currently, kind of using all the metaphors, the analogies, and the symbols for each of these spaces. I won't go through all of these, and we will maybe in other videos, but that first room of the ancient temple was called the Ulam, the second room was called the Haikal, and the third room was called the Debir, or also the Holy of Holies. And we also know of the second room as the Holy Place, and then the third room as the Most Holy Place. So we start in this first room, which would have been the bottom of the cycle or the circle chart. And we have lone and dreary world, celestial kingdom, the porch in the ancient temple. Moses is related with it. We often see Egypt and Babylon as symbols of this fall or this area. Stories of oppression and work and bondage. There's an altar there in that outer court. There's sacrifices made here. We also see the term dark and dreary, we see wilderness, and we see desert, representing this first room of the ancient temple in Jerusalem. So we saw Lehi say dark and dreary wilderness, and dreary, which is the same term as lone and dreary, which would be used in Moses 5, 1 through 11 when talking about the fall. Adam and Eve were cast out to the lone and dreary world, while the same term is in Hebrew is translated into dark and dreary in Lehi's version. And then the wilderness part of this, the word in Hebrew is midbar, and that's how you spell it in Hebrew there. And it can also be translated desert, wilderness, waste, and wildness. So we could call it the dark and dreary desert, we could call it the dark and dreary wilderness, the dark and dreary waste. All of those terms would be the same. When we think of desert, we think about the children of Israel wandering in the desert, which fits into this temple theme exactly. Another metaphorical first room of the temple. Adam and Eve cast out into the lone and dreary world, another metaphorical term for this first room of the temple. Alright, so revisiting the verse, but behold, Laman and Lemuel, I fear exceedingly because of you, for behold, methought I saw in my dream a dark and dreary wilderness. We're picking up his vision here where he left off in chapter 1. We're picking it up now in room 1, where he's looking back at room 1, and he sees this as a dark and dreary wilderness, or as room 1 of the temple.